Welcome to another dark and chilling story. Tonight, you will hear the legend of a place that should never be entered. A house where silence hides something ancient, and time itself refuses to move. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our next horror stories. Now turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare yourself for the house where time stopped. In a forgotten town, hidden among cold hills and endless fog, there stands a house that no one dares to enter. The locals call it the house where time stopped. For generations, people have whispered stories about that place. Tales of strange lights in the windows, ticking sounds in the night, and shadows that move without wind or moonlight. The legend begins long ago with a man named August Rivas, a brilliant clockmaker known for his obsession with time. He believed that if he could truly understand time, he could stop it forever. He worked endlessly, surrounded by hundreds of clocks, each one ticking to a rhythm only he understood. But one night, the sound of the clocks suddenly stopped. When neighbors entered his home the next morning, August was gone. Every single clock in the house had frozen at exactly 3:33 a.m. From that day on, no one ever dared to go near the place again. They said that the spirit of the clockmaker had found a way to trap himself between seconds, living eternally inside the moment when time stopped. Many years later, a young man named Lucas heard the story and decided to uncover the truth. He did not believe in curses or ghosts. To him, it was all a myth, a story invented to scare the weak-minded. So one foggy night, he set out toward the hill where the house still stood. He wanted proof. He wanted to show the world that fear was nothing but imagination. As he walked through the mist, the road became quieter, and the world seemed to fade behind him. When he reached the top of the hill, the house appeared through the fog, a black silhouette against the pale moonlight, with shattered windows and a half-open iron gate. The gate creaked softly as he entered, as if the house itself had been waiting for him. Inside, the air was heavy with dust and the scent of rust. The floor groaned under his feet, and the walls seemed to breathe with each movement. The beam of his flashlight revealed dozens of clocks covering every corner of the room. Some were hanging crookedly on the walls, others lay shattered on the floor. All of them, without exception, were frozen at the exact same time. 3:33. The silence was unbearable, but then, faintly, the sound of a ticking clock echoed through the air. It grew louder, even though the clocks remained motionless. The sound came from deep inside the house. Step by step, he followed it through the darkness, climbing the staircase that led to the upper floor. The ticking grew faster, more intense, until it sounded like the heartbeat of something alive. At the end of the hall, a door stood slightly open. Inside was a single mirror, large and old, covered with a black cloth. The air around it felt cold, almost electric. He lifted the cloth, and the ticking stopped instantly. The reflection staring back seemed strange. It was his image, but slower, delayed, as if trapped a second behind reality. For a moment, time itself seemed to hesitate. Then suddenly every clock in the house began ticking again all at once. Hundreds of tick-tocks filled the air, overlapping, louder and louder, until the sound became unbearable. The walls trembled. The house seemed to pulse with life. Lucas turned toward the door, but the door was gone. In its place stood a solid wooden wall. The windows were sealed shut. The clocks screamed their endless rhythm. And then, from inside the mirror, a voice whispered softly, "Stay with me." The reflection in the mirror moved closer, though Lucas did not. The surface of the mirror rippled like water, and from it something began to emerge, a shadow in human form, wearing his own face. Then silence. The sound of ticking faded away, and the mirror went dark. The next morning, the townspeople found Lucas's backpack and flashlight at the edge of the property. His phone was discovered inside, still recording. The video ended at 3:33 a.m. The house was searched, but nothing was found. Every clock inside had stopped once more, frozen at the same exact time. To this day, the house remains abandoned. Locals say that on certain nights, when the fog descends over the hill, you can still hear the faint ticking of a clock echoing through the wind. Some claim to see a shadow moving behind the windows. Others swear that if you stand too close to the walls, you can hear a whisper calling for help. And those who dare to look into a mirror near the hill sometimes see a reflection that isn't their own. A reflection that moves a moment too late, wearing the terrified eyes of a man forever trapped in time. This was the legend of the house where time stopped. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more terrifying tales that will keep you awake at night. Tell us in the comments, would you dare to enter that house? Thank you for watching, and remember, time never really stops. It only waits.